of local government spending patterns to identify opportunities to improve local health outcomes and develop a memorandum of understanding between Angelina County and the Episcopal Health Foundation to provide for this analysis to be completed without monetary cost or obligation to the county. This discussion came up here about a month and a half ago. The Episcopal Health Foundation is wanting a resolution signed allowing them to come in. It's not going to cost the county anything, but they are going to come in and analyze local health opportunities that we have here in this area. It sounded like a real good deal, and I'm going to go ahead and read the resolution now. Whereas Angelina County ranks low in health outcomes and health factors as reported in the county health rankings, which are compiled annually by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And whereas the Episcopal Health Foundation has initiated a dialogue with communities in our region without possible opportunities to improve health outcomes and health factors of the citizens of our region. And whereas recent research has shown that investments made in certain health and social services can lead to improvements in a county's health outcomes within a 4-year period. And whereas an analysis of local government spending patterns may identify opportunities to improve health outcomes by shifting spending patterns within existing budgets. And whereas the Episcopal Health Foundation has offered to underwrite the cost of an analysis of county spending patterns, which may lead to recommendations regarding modifications to improve health outcomes. And whereas the Angelina County Commissioners Court finds it in the best interest of the citizens of Angelina County to cooperate with the Episcopal Health Foundation to have such analysis done in Angelina County with the hope that it will lead to improved health outcomes. Now, there it be resolved that the Commissioners Court of Angelina County hereby requests the Episcopal Health Foundation to conduct an analysis of local government spending patterns to identify opportunities to improve local health outcomes. Furthermore, the court directs that a memorandum of understanding be developed between Angelina County and the Episcopal Health Foundation to provide for this analysis to be completed without monetary cost or obligation to the county. The city has already adopted a memorandum almost exactly like this, and Angelina County is leading the area for DETCOG. Once we adopt it ourselves, then I'm sure that surrounding areas in all over the deep East Texas is going to be following suit. Commissioners?
You say the city has already adopted this?
City has already adopted
Episcopal Health Foundation?
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, they beat us to the punch. Their meeting was a few days before ours.
Motion to approve.
All right.
I would like to add, I think this has zero to do with our health insurance program.
Exactly.
Just wanted to make that.
Exactly. The thing that we're sharing is we're going to be sharing access to the way we're spending money in the county, taking care of our citizens, and it's part of the research that they're going to do, seeing if they can offer suggestions to make it a little smarter.
Right.
Second. Okay. We have a motion and a second.
That's with the judge's signature? Yeah. That's with the judge's signature, right?
Yes.
Yes. Motion to approve with judge's signature.
With the judge's signature. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. All right. Item number 5. Discussion action on submittal by Ray Anthony, Constable Precinct 4, of his 2019 racial profiling report as required by law.
Motion to accept his report.
All right.
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Item number 6, discussion action on appointment of Kendall Gay, Director of the Texas Forestry Museum, to the Angelina County Historical Commission for the fiscal year 2019 to 2020. There has been a little bit of a change on that. Commissioner Pitts, if you would.
I just like to clear up that this appointment is actually replacing somebody that's going off. Miss Donahue, I believe, wasn't it?
Right.
And so this appointment will just be for the remaining of her
Term.
commitment or her term, yeah.
And then she will have to be reappointed to there is 2-year cycles. And when we replace somebody that is, that's in midterm, then all we're doing is replacing that person for the remainder of the term according to the regs. Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, before we go any further, I'd like to introduce, or have them introduce themselves. We got some Leadership Lufkin people here. If y'all would please stand, tell who you work for.
I work for Southland Rehab. I'm Kirsten Red, Marketing Director.
All right,
I'm Cody Taylor. I'm a lumber trader for Georgia.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
And glad to have y'all here, and I'm glad you're enjoying in the Leadership Lufkin class, okay? All righty. Item number 7, appearance of Kerry Kirby to present the Insurance Committee recommendations for filling 2 vacancies on the committee.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Commissioners. Judge, Commissioners, the Insurance Committee currently has 2 vacancies that developed when Judge Souter and Commissioner Timmons left at the first of the year. And so we have a need to fill those vacancies. We met last week and came up with our recommendations on the issue. Historically, the county judge has served on this committee, and it was our thought and recommendation that we continue with that, and that Judge Linbury continue as a member of the committee. And spoke with Judge Linbury, and he's certainly in agreement to do that, and that was our position. And I point out that ultimately these appointments are subject to the approval of the Commissioners Court. So it was just our thought on that that's been traditionally a position held by the county judge, and so we recommend that we continue with that. The second position was most recently held by Commissioner Timmons, and it is vacant as well now. He's had it for a number of years, although it appears that at some point in the past, we've also had at least one member of the Sheriff's Office on the committee in that position. And it was our discussions, we thought that it may be appropriate to consider appointing someone from the Sheriff's Office, either the sheriff or one of his representatives, to a position on the committee in lieu of the fact that that particular agency makes up by far the largest number of employees in the county. And the committee as a whole deals with issues on insurance coverage and benefits for the county and its employees. So we thought that it might be appropriate to give some consideration to that, and we discussed the possibility of appointing the Chief Deputy, Roy Owens, in that position, and he has indicated that he would be agreeable to that if so appointed. Again, that was our discussion and thoughts on it, and so I submit those recommendations to you at this time, and certainly be glad to take any questions or that you have.
So in your opinion, it'd be better to have someone from the sheriff's office instead of a commissioner?
Well, I wouldn't say that it would be better. It was our discussion that might be appropriate. Historically, for a long time, there has been an additional commissioner on the committee, and we certainly have no problem with that being the case either. There are important decisions, recommendations, not necessarily decisions made by the committee from time to time. So,
How long is that appointment for? Is it got,
to my knowledge, there's no written guidelines on length or numbers. And we're operating off, historically, there's been 7 people on the committee. And it may have been in the past, and the sheriff's representative was on there, even been 8 people, so there's nothing in writing that says there has to be a particular number that I'm aware of. So, and that possibility is certainly out there, that the court could appoint more than 7 to the committee.
Yeah. Guys?
So we could appoint 3 people then.
Yes, sir, you could.
That's what we're here to discuss, you know.
Yeah, but let me say, I certainly don't have a problem with Mr. Owens being on there, because they've got lots of people there, and that would help see what the needs are there too. I would like to say, I would like to, see if we could just put one more person, and be one of the county commissioners, and I would recommend Mr. Pitts on the board, just so that we're, in light of, and that would help us all, I think, so, but I mean, that would be my recommendation on it. So,
That's, to my knowledge, there's no prohibition against doing that. So
yeah, I'm just saying that, but I think he would be an excellent choice, you know, to be on that board. Mr. Owens would.
And I would, and just along that lines, I would point out too, and I didn't mention it, that Chief Owens does oversee a lot of their employee issues
Absolutely,
there. So
yeah,
it's-
yeah,
He has some background that might be a benefit.
right, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. So that would be a great deal there.
Yeah. You want to put that in the form of a motion?
Sure, I make a motion that we, what would do, accept or?
Actually, fill the 2 positions plus 1.
Yeah, I make a motion, we fill the 2 positions plus 1 with Mr. Owens and Mr. Pitts. And that's my,
And the judge.
oh, that's right, and the judge, I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, there was another one there, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
All
that'd be
right.
my recommendation, so.
Okay. Second?
Second motion.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
And I appreciate y'all doing that,
Yeah.
working on that part, I really do.
Item number 8, discussion action on approving a letter of agreement between the county's self-funded welfare benefit plan and dedicated MRI center, PLLC, to cover eligible employees and dependents. It's come to the court's attention that we need to do some more research on this, and at this time, this particular item needs to be tabled until the new appointees on the insurance commission can do some research. We just need to look at this a little further.
Make a motion to table this second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Motion passes. All right. Item number 9, discussion action on approving a proclamation being read by Mr. Wayne Haglund proclaiming April 2019 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Angelina County. Counselor?
Thank you, Judge, members of the commission. Let me first thank you for your support and for continuing to appoint an outstanding bunch of Angelina County citizens to our board. So that you know, there are 15 members of the Angelina County Child Welfare Board. It's created by statute. We're required to have it, and you all appoint the members on 3-year terms. And since we've been talking about terms, I thought I would refresh you who they are in alphabetical order. We try to make it a diverse group, both by age, although we're suffering a little bit trying to find younger people who want to devote the time to it, by gender, by ethnicity, and by where they live geographically in the county. The members now are Melissa Abelt, Kathy Barrett, Larry Bonner, Rose Boyd, Carol Chmielewski, Dr. George Fedone, Royce Garrett, Mary Goodwin, myself, John Havard, Betty Salmons, Pat Meriwether, Barbara Peterson, Linda Landrum, and Alan Riddle. I was going to tell you, just as an aside, I first got appointed to this board by either County Judge Claude Welch under that administration or Dan Jones. So I've been around a long time, and there are 3 members on this committee been there longer than I have. So we do have some longevity, but we're grateful to you for continuing to appoint good folks. All right, I will now read you the proclamation. April, of course, is traditionally Child Abuse Prevention Month, and that's what the blue ribbon stands for. I apologize, I'm only wearing khakis and a blazer today and not a suit, because I've been teaching a first grade class at Trout Elementary since 8:30 this morning, so I thought I had to kind of dress for the occasion there. Here's the proclamation that we present to you for your adoption for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas children are the next generation of leaders and the brightest rays of hope for the future, every child deserves to grow up in a nurturing environment free from harm and fear. Sadly, child abuse is a tragic problem in our society. Whereas in 2018, 66,386 children in Texas were reported as being either abused and neglected, whereas 224 children in Angelina County, Texas were confirmed as victims of child abuse or neglect in 2018, whereas there are currently 239 Angelina County children removed from their home settings by Child Protective Services, whereas in 2018 there were 211 child deaths statewide due to abuse or neglect, and 2 of those were in Angelina County last year. Whereas child abuse preventing is a community responsibility and finding solution depends on involvement of all citizens, whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs that benefit children and their families, whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among community organizations, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas every citizen in Angelina County should recognize the duty to report child abuse and neglect, and whereas everyone in Angelina County should become more aware of child abuse prevention and should be active in helping parents raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. And now to the proclamation. Now therefore, I, Don Limberry, County Judge of Angelina County, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2019 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month in Angelina County, Texas, and urge all citizens to work together with the Angelina County Child Welfare Board to help reduce child abuse and neglect significantly this year and in years to come by promptly reporting all suspected child abuse and neglect, and then the signature for the judge if it's adopted by the court. And I'd be happy to answer any questions which any of you may have.
Can I do something? First, I want to thank you for what you do, and our law enforcement for what they do.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the key. And I want to make a motion that we accept.
Second.
Okay.
Motion and a second. All right. Any further questions? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the judge decide.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you very
Cut
much.
that out again, sorry.
Thanks, Wayne. All right, motion passes. All right, item number 10, consider any miscellaneous and routine items.
Make a motion to accept the reports.
All right,
Second.
and a second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11, consider approval and authorization for payment of the bills as submitted by the auditor.
Motion to pay the bills.
All right,
Second.
motion and a second, pay the bills. Any further discussion? Didn't look like there was anything unusual. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Recess or adjourn, gentlemen?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Appreciate y'all for coming.
I see you.